Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another video, and today we'll be doing something a little bit different just because I thought it'd be good for me to share with you guys my blocks 1, 2, 3 and the progression I've had from blocks 1 to 3. And the only reason why I think it's important to talk about is because from the last video, I told you that obviously I didn't make it to my meet, and also I had COVID and I was having all these just like inconsistent workouts. So basically I was starting back at zero and I was trying to get back to the top of my game, or I should say peaking, when I was getting ready for my meet. So I want to share with you all these clips, and why don't we check them out right now. And if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like or even subscribe to my channel if you like these kind of videos. I'll always be sharing with you all the workouts I've done and also posting my sheets as well, just for you guys to follow along and also do them with me. So let's get started. So here right now, this is my 330 pounds for about one. In most of these clips, you should see that I'm using calibrated plates and also a stiff bar. So that makes the lift just a little bit harder because it makes the weight a little bit more dense on you. That's something that you'll only notice when you are using calibrated plates and a stiff bar compared to your regular bumper plates and bars. As you can see, the 330 was pretty easy, so I decided to go up a little bit more. This is 352 pounds. And again, pretty easy, not too hard. Again, I was just coming back from like everything, so I was just trying to make sure that I do my best to not go overly too heavy. 330 for about 4 here, very easy again, no issues. Now in the beginning here, like before I could probably do these like for 8 and an RPE 6, and usually it's way easy, but again, we're just coming back from everything, so it gets a little bit more difficult. Now I've decided to do a little bit higher reps. This is 308 for about 8. And although they look really easy, at the time I was kind of like out of breath and just having a little bit of a struggle doing it. And again, like it looks easier than actually doing it in the moment. My body just wasn't quite ready for all the volume, I think. So this is my bench. This is 220 for about 1 here. And again, this was supposed to be like an RPE 6, I think. And again, it looked a lot easier than it actually felt. I honestly probably had like 2 more in me just because I wasn't used to it. And this is my baseline deadlift at what I started at. And obviously I had a little bit of a struggle there, so I'd probably say that was around like an RPE 7.5. You can't see my belt, but I do have my belt on here. This is 384 pounds, and I think I was aiming for RPE 7. That went pretty smoothly. And then this is the next week, and this is my 374 for 1. Something that's really important here that I try to make sure is I try to keep my stance always the same. Now at this point, I believe I was struggling with a little bit of groin pain. And pretty much up from block 1 to all of my lifts to block 3, to the end of block 3 I should say, I was having some groin pain. Now you should notice here that this is 395, and although that this is not calibrated plates, but this is a stiff bar, these actually felt much lighter than my 385 with the calibrated plates. I don't know if it was placebo or not, but it definitely did feel a lot easier. And I think maybe I could have went just a tad bit lower. That was probably perfect though, perfect depth, but I think maybe I could go a little bit lower just to secure the bag. And this is 405 for 1. And I believe this was probably around RPE 7 or 8. Yeah, it looked like about RP 7 or 8, and again, not calibrated plates, just with the metal plates. Always much easier than it actually is. Now this is a big jump. This is 253, so I think my bench before was at 220, and now this is 253. And again, super smooth lift, very easy, and it's very amazing to see all your strength come back so quickly. 429, not bad, looks pretty good to me. Still trying to build. Now we're back down to 231 for one, and I think I was going for RPE 6 or 7 here. At the beginning of programs usually, or your blocks even, everything is usually very light. You want to get as much volume as you can. So it's nice to go light. You never want to go heavy right off the bat, and I don't think I do well going heavy right off the bat. But here I am talking about not going heavy, and this is 551 for one. And this was super smooth, and I was really happy about this lift, which was great. Seemed to me that strength comes back a lot faster than I thought. I think I was a little fatigued from the deadlift, so that's why I decided to go 385 for one on my squats. But these are the calibrated plates with the collars, so that's why I felt like maybe it'd be a little bit harder. And I think that was going to be about RPE 6 or 7, and I thought that was pretty close to it. Here we are back with the 242 for one, and I think this was also RPE 6 or 7 here, which also looked like it, which is pretty much what we want. 539 for one, a little bit lower than the previous week before, but at the same time, I don't want to go heavy all the time. Now this was a bit of a grinder. This is 363.7 pounds for 6, and I think this was my first week or second week trying to do this. It was supposed to be like an RP 6 or 7, and it was a bit of a grind, I'm not gonna lie. The first couple reps are always pretty grindy, and but after the first couple reps, everything kind of just goes a little bit more smoother. As you can guys see, I'm actually using my strong knee sleeves, and they're not quite as tight as my SBD ones. I'm not saying it adds a huge addition to my lifts, but it is something to note as well. The SBD sleeves, I have to like fold them over to put them over, but these ones I can just slip right on, so they're obviously not super tight. And again, that was supposed to be RPE 6, and I would say that's about 6.5. Here I am again, this is 385 or 386 pounds, and I was really happy about this lift. You can see my reaction when I'm finishing my lift here. I didn't realize how fast this actually moved, and it felt a lot faster than I thought it would, so I was pretty happy about that. And here we are, 253.5 pounds for one, and I think this was RPE 7 as well, and it felt like it, probably like a 7.5. Definitely had at least 1.5 or 2 more, maybe 3, who knows, depends if my back cramps or not. 530 for one again, not too amazing lift here, but I was actually working on my core. I started working my core this week, and I realized how painful my core was bracing, so I decided to lower the weight than usual. This is 373 for 6, so I decided to move the weight up a little bit more the next week just to challenge myself. I was having a lot of groin pain like I was telling you earlier, so I decided to try going up a little higher instead. So these squats are a lot higher than usually, but because I don't have a meet coming up, it's not a big deal. I was really more just experimenting where the groin pain was, and although I was still feeling it here, it was definitely not as severe as before. But super grindy. I was pretty happy that I did do 373 for 6. I don't think I've ever done that before, but I would like to try it again without going so high, and just instead of working more on hitting depth on every single one. And that's really about it. Those are my lists from block 1 to block 3. Not all of them, of course, but just the ones that I think that are good to talk about. Of course, I'll be leaving the sheets here either at the beginning of the video or at the very end, or maybe just both for you guys to all check out. Of course, this is more so for me, and you can see that I'm benching like 4 days a week and doing squats about twice, and then deadlifts about twice as well. I'm really trying to work on my chest right now while trying to improve my squats and deadlifts. Now my deadlifts also, like, they're pretty good right now, so they're not much of a priority, but I really want to try to hit 500 on my squat and hopefully at 350 on my bench. So that's what I'm trying to work up towards right now. Feel free to use the sheets however you want. There'll be a great way for you to look at how I judge myself for my RPEs, and also how you can do it for yourselves as well. So often that I see a lot of people lifting that they just think that something is RPE like 9 or 10, when in reality I look at it and I feel like it's probably more of like a 4. So like I was saying earlier, sometimes the harder it feels doesn't necessarily mean it's as hard as it supposed to be. So when I look at that's why I film myself. When I look at my lifts again, I realize like, oh, like that wasn't actually that hard. It was a lot easier than I thought it was. Anyways, yeah, we'll do some more of these videos. I really enjoy doing these, and I think they're very helpful for you all as well. So if you are enjoying this, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Otherwise, thank you for watching, guys, and have a good weekend. Peace out.